All right, so let's talk about what Troy Aikman had to say about Dak Prescott. Let's listen.
Well, I'm a big fan of Dak's, as I've said many, many times. And, what I like most about him is all that matters to him is winning games. The stats and everything that goes with that is not important. And he knows how he's being measured, and that, of course, ultimately will be in winning championships. They've come up a little bit short. I know you referenced the interceptions from last year. Certainly not all of those are on him, and they never are on a quarterback. But I thought there were a lot of things that could be done a little bit differently that would help him as well. And I know Mike McCarthy this year has taken over the play calling. That will be interesting to see how that goes as well. But I think they're a really talented football team. I think they did a lot of really good things this offseason to make themselves better. But as Cowboy fans have heard so many times, there's always a lot of optimism coming into the season, and it's ended, unfortunately, in a lot of disappointment. But they'll be right there again this year with an opportunity to do what they've been unable to do in quite some time. And, time will tell.
No doubt. So that's Troy Aikman thoughts on Dak Prescott and also the 2023 season, as well as with Mike McCarthy taking over the play calling. I still think that it will be some variations of Brian Schottenheimer and as well as the philosophy of Mike McCarthy merged together. Now, before you guys say, yeah, man, whatever you say is going to be in a positive direction towards Dak Prescott. No, Dak Prescott back is against the wall as well, right? It's a cloud hovering over him as well with this organization and franchise by this franchise fan base being divided like the Great Divide ice cream. I would say this. There are absolutely no excuses for Dak Prescott for the 2023 year, right? Kellen Moore is gone, right? The offensive coordinator, he would no longer be calling those button hooks, those comeback, those hitch routes for the wide receivers, four wides, everybody coming back, stopping at the sticks type of stuff. So with all of that being said, what Troy Aikman said also proves a valid point that all of those interceptions, most of those interceptions were not Dak Prescott's fault. So how do we go beyond that is also adding more and more weapons. There's a thing that a lot of people think that, the Cowboys went out and had multitudes of weapons last year. They could have won the Super Bowl last year. And that would have been harder for any team to win a Super Bowl with a Noah Brown, right? To pick up the phone to call a T.Y. Hilton, who was 33 years of age, right? And say, hey, come on in for a cup of coffee. To have your right tackle to go down. 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen were out, ladies and gentlemen. Your running back went down. The explosive Tony Pollard went down in that 49ers game, right? And there would be people say, yeah, that would have been enough for the Cowboys to win. Well, name me a team that won it in those type of situations. The only playmaker that we had once Tony Pollard went down was CeeDee Lamb. And I get it. Someone going to bang on the table and said, nah, Lord, there could have been other situations if Dak Prescott would have played to his max capability. Well, when you start thinking about all of this and the plays that were designed, everything had to be right. Everybody had to be healthy in order for this team to advance. Now, I get it. It will sound like bevies of excuses, but that's last season now. We're finna roll into a new season with new philosophy, with principles to it, right? And understanding of West Coast scheme, system, and philosophy with Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer. Those guys, Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, were oil and water last year. They didn't dwell together. They didn't blend together at all. When you shook it together, everything may have seemed as if though it collided, but once it settled, it was still separated. And that goes to the people that put those things in places. You need to establish a set of rules, a set of circumstances so that these guys can win. Pass block win rate was at the bottom half last year. There were no identity for this offense. There were no scheme. There was no plan at all, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. DC for life. Salute.